Let's pull this up on this fancy schmancy screen here. Got this from the Post Millennial. Court TV joins Human Events and Post Millennial in demanding transparency in the trial of Tyler Robinson for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Let the cameras roll. So if you haven't seen this already, Nora, have you seen anything about this?
A little bit.
So the judge has ruled and granted the request of Tyler Robinson. What is that request? He will not be required to show up to court in prison attire. He will be able to wear his normal civilian clothing. And the judge is now barring people from recording not just the courtroom, but you're not allowed to record him going and leaving the courthouse.
Bull.
Yeah. He murdered Charlie Kirk in one of the most public and nationally televised ways possible, and we're not allowed to record him even leaving the courthouse?
Unacceptable. Nope. I'm sorry. If we could sit there and watch Johnny Depp and Amber Turd and all of their infinite bullshittic wisdom, I'm sorry. I want to see this. I would be glued to the TV and watch this one. They used to put this stuff on TV all the time. What was it? OJ Simpson, Ted Bundy, they all were televised in the courtroom. Oh my God, Ted Bundy's was absolutely entertaining.
Well, and then think about the conspiracy theories that are going to happen from this. We're like, oh, they're not televising it because it's going to come out that he wasn't the shooter.
No, the conspiracy theories are already flying because of the boyfriend or furry thing, whatever, disappearing.
Yeah, he's been missing for 6 weeks. I looked into that. I don't blame him for going into hiding, honestly.
I don't either.
Because he was getting harassed. There were people showing up to their apartment or their house or whatever. The last reporting I saw was that he actually went to go stay with his parents. So I don't know if there's anything fishy going on there. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm sure the government's keeping an eye on him. But who knows? I mean, they often keep eyes on people. And then what's the line from the FBI every time there's a mass shooting? He was on our radar. So I don't know. But you have this quote here I think you and I will agree with. I don't know who the quote is from, but it says, "This was a murder meant for the world to see. The trial seeking justice for Charlie Kirk should be seen by the world as well."
I agree.
So Court TV's Julie Grant on Wednesday backed the push to have cameras in the courtroom for the trial of Tyler Robinson, who has been charged with assassinating Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. This comes as the defense has requested that cameras be banned from the courtroom to minimize the effect of prejudicial pretrial publicity. Human Events Media Group has filed an open letter urging that cameras be allowed. Let the cameras roll, said Grant. The defendant accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk wants to keep cameras out of the courtroom. His lawyers argue it will taint the prospective jury pool and jeopardize his right to a fair trial. They say that after his first court appearance, the public scrutiny of his appearance and his movements was happening excessively because of what was shown in the courtroom.
Pre-trial, I could understand not having them in the courtroom. However, I could understand them allowing recording devices. But they need to allow the people to take pictures before and after when he's entering and exiting the courtroom. That is totally acceptable. Pre-trial, I could understand from a defense point, not wanting to taint the jury pool. That I could understand because in our law, we need to have a fair trial for both sides. So,
as Son Wiggum points out, though, because of the way he committed this crime, there is going to be no such thing as a fair trial.
This is true.
Like someone somewhere has heard something about the Charlie Kirk shooting. So, like,
yeah, this is true. There will be no fair trial, but you can try to make it as fair as possible. So, not recording for the pre-trial, I could understand. Recording for the trial, totally do it on TV. I want popcorn. Let's go.
And then Missy has an excellent point. No one cared about the Rittenhouse and Chauvin having fair juries, but they want to ensure a fair jury for this. It just seems like BS. Honestly, my opinion on this is that they don't actually care about a fair jury. They're doing this to stoke more of the conspiracies.
They are.
That's what I think. Shitty Gov, I'll check that out. Send that to me directly. But anyway, so it says Grant noted, or wait, Well, when you pick up murder charges, public scrutiny usually comes with it. What did defendant Tyler Robinson think was going to happen after he allegedly confessed to his lover that he assassinated Charlie Kirk? Do you think a walk in the park was coming next? No, criminal charges and a trial, if he so chooses, are what comes next. Yeah, if he committed this crime, what comes next is a trial with cameras and you're going to jail, like prison. Like that's what happens. He knew this was going to happen. He had planned it out. Well, he didn't plan to get caught, I guess, but he didn't exactly have a good plan to not have that happen. But it says Grant noted that in Utah, cameras are permitted to film and photograph court proceedings. We've seen it time and time again with the trials that we broadcast here on Court TV. The cameras have zero bearing on the fairness of the trial. She continued, noting that trials with intense public scrutiny, such as O.J. Simpson, Casey Anthony, and Karen Reed, the jurors aren't watching the trial on TV. They're not allowed to do that. So it sounds to me like this defendant just wants some special treatment. But he's not special, and I suspect the judge will deny his request to exclude the cameras, but yet, still, that judge will ensure that Mr. Robinson receives the fair trial that he's entitled to receive. So is it still up in the air that he hasn't approved this yet? Because I thought it was that he approved the request.
It sounds like they have not approved it yet, but they put in for the approval.
Okay.
The letter states in part, in the absence of the official courtroom footage, speculative secondary content. Oh, sorry, all of a sudden it jumped.
Sorry, I was zooming so you could see it better.
Will fill the void. This should stand to increase, not decrease. Prejudicial
Prejudicial.
Yeah, prejudicial distortion. So yeah, like I said, depending on which way you want to swing this, it's guys are going to add or take away from. But if it's already something that happens in Utah on the regular and they can actually show that it does not impact the jurors in any way because they're not allowed to watch the trial on TV, then there is no standing in that state. And I am fully accepting that they allow it.
Yeah, if you want a fair jury, you'd basically have to tell these people to stay off the internet.
Well, that's technically in these big cases what you're supposed to do.
Stay off the internet, no watching TV, go walk in the park.
Well, not only that, but you're not allowed to even discuss the case with friends or family, period.
Well, yeah, because if you go start discussing it with people, they'll be like, oh, but did you hear this? And then you'll get misinformation, or maybe you'll get things that weren't exposed in the court.
Skewed. Yeah. Things could be skewed. So
to that point, though, this is absolutely ridiculous because they're not supposed to be looking at this stuff online anyway. So this doesn't affect the jury unless they choose to go out of their way to break the rules.
And then if they break the rules, they're found in contempt of court and they suffer consequences as well. And then they'll be removed from the jury.
Son of Wiggum said, yeah, there's no way. You would need to get people who are hermits. Go get the Amish people for the jury.
Pretty much. Oh my God. I would allow, oh my God, that would be such an amazing thing to have the Amish on there, because the Amish are extremely fair when it comes to stuff like this.
Just imagine the Amish hearing about this. They're like, what did this guy do? He was talking and you killed him? That's it?
For what? You killed him for talking?
Yeah.
In public? In front of children and people? Oh, no.
No.
Death penalty for you.
They'll build the prison for him.
Yeah, they will make him build the prison that he has to sleep in.
You're right.
With no power tools.
Oh man. Yeah, so you gotta drive those nails in with your bare hand.
Saw it down with an actual handsaw.
Right. They give him a butter knife, like cut the wood.
Whittle this away, my friend. Whittle this away.
Yeah, no. Final thoughts on this. It should be live broadcasted, televised for the world to see, just as he intended the murder of Charlie Kirk. He intended for everyone to see it. And
Absolutely.
I think it should. I think his trial should be there for everyone to see.
The only reason why I could ever imagine them allowing no cameras in the courtroom is if somebody else was actually behind this and they don't want that coming out and they're just trying to hide what truly happened.
Well, and that's how conspiracies like this get brought up, though, because it makes me believe that a little bit too. Like, why are they hiding it? What information don't they want us to see publicly?
That's exactly my point. Is what are they hiding? Because if they weren't hiding anything, they would allow everybody to see this. The OJ Simpson trial was huge. Everybody and their mother and their mother's mother was watching the OJ Simpson trial.
On
Like,
one of the more recent ones,
everybody
the Johnny
remembers
Depp
the
one.
brown Bronco driving down the road.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers watching the chase. Everybody was glued to their cameras. That's why the Kardashian family is so famous, is because the dad was his attorney.
Oh, and then you have one of the more recent examples with the like you brought up, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard,
Amber Turd.
Amber Turd. That trial was very public. People were making so many memes and stuff about it. And I think the part it did Johnny Depp a huge favor making it public, because if it wasn't public, Amber would have been able to skew the story, because they were a lot of people already believed Amber. But then you look at the trial and it's like, oh wait, she's actually the piece of shit.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's not only is she a piece of shit, she's crazy, right? So that's another reason to have this public, because public perception of something could be skewed by the people that you may believe one side or the other. Because what if it turns out Tyler Robinson actually is innocent, but then they do this all behind the scenes and without cameras, and it's like, well, how is he innocent? We don't know that he's innocent. You guys just let him off. Like, what if that happens too? Like, that's a possibility
Right?
too.
Exactly.
And then no one would believe that. So it's all just, yeah, no, it all needs to be public. Let the cameras roll. Yeah, it's ridiculous that this is even being considered. And allowing him to be in civilian clothing, why? That also that also skews the jury a little bit, because they're like, wait, they're not putting him in prison clothing. They must not think he's very guilty.
Well, they allowed OJ to be in street clothes.
Well, he's high
he was in a
profile.
suit and tie. Exactly. But this is technically a high profile case.
I'll give it to him if he shows up in a suit and tie, but if he shows up in like a basic t-shirt,
oh yeah, no, unacceptable.
he needs to show up in a suit and tie. He needs to be in formal clothing if he's going to be standing trial. If he's not going to be in the prison attire.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's just my opinion, though.
Because this is a high profile case, I'm okay with him dressing presentably if they're not going to put him in the jumpsuit orange. I'm fine with that. But he can't be going to court in jeans and a t-shirt. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
So yeah, that's what I have to say on that one.
Yeah, I think we could start wrapping up here. We